Hey guys, how's it going? Today, I'm going to be featuring the Sovietsky Soyuz. However, I am not featuring this ship. I'm actually more going to point out the fact that there is a ship on the enemy team that has not yet been released in World of Warships Legends. If you look at the enemy team, there is a ship that does not have a tier, and well, it's the Yoshino. Now, the Yoshino is basically a larger Azuma. However, it has torpedoes and it's also a tier 10 on PC. If I had to guess what it's here, well, our team has a Worcester and typically the tiers of ships are matched. So we can assume that the Yoshino will be a future legendary Japanese cruiser. It will fit right in with the Alaska and Stalingrad. However, I am a bit disappointed that we're getting another large cruiser. We already have Alaska and Stalingrad, and so far we only have one heavy cruiser, which is the Des Moines. I would probably have preferred the Zhao instead of the Yoshino, just so that we can have more heavy cruisers at the tier, just so that we're not focused down to just one single heavy cruiser. It might just be me, and I would prefer to play Zhao or Hindenburg, but ultimately I think I'm just happy that we're getting more legendary tier ships soon. I figure I would at least pull up the World of Warships PC wiki and go over some of the stats for the Yoshino. The amount of hit points that it has is 61,800. The main battery is 310 millimeters in 3 triple turrets. The reload time is 18.5 seconds. Now, the HE fire chance is 27%. If we go ahead and throw on a Zerlane Atago, well, that's another 8%, so we can have a 35% fire chance. Now, in the game, we actually get to see the Yoshino on the enemy team firsthand, and, well, we get set on an instant double fire. Luckily, we do have the skill to increase the number of damage controls that we have as a Russian battleship, so we can pretty much use this damage con 4 more times, and they do have a quick cooldown. The next time I zoom in, you will notice that the Yoshino has 2 quad torpedoes on the left side, so we can assume that there's also 2 on the other side, so there's 4 quad torpedoes on the Yoshino. Now, one thing I do know about the Yoshino on PC is that the torp angles are pretty bad, similar to that of the Mogami and the Suzuya, where you pretty much have to go broadside to launch torpedoes, which I can tell that he's doing right now, so I'm just simply trying to reverse to this island and get in cover. Unfortunately, those shells do land short because he's turning out, and I don't actually land more citadels. The Yoshino, like the Azuma, does have a fairly large citadel as well, so you can expect to delete some of these large cruisers if they are giving broadside. As predicted, the torpedoes do show up, but we have reversed far enough behind the island that we have managed to dodge them. Based on the PC wiki, the torpedo maximum damage is 23,767, so those torpedoes definitely do hurt, and it does have 8 per side, so if you ever do come across this at some point in the future, that is something to look out for. I'm gonna quickly go over the pros and cons of the Yoshino. Pros: 30mm armored midsection will bounce any AP up to a caliber of 429mm. Relatively small superstructure, making it hard for destroyers to deal damage to Yoshino with their guns. High HE penetration value allows her to efficiently damage more heavily armored ships. AP has high penetration, superior to most heavy cruisers. Long main battery range that can be enhanced even farther with her spotting aircraft. Our spotting aircraft doesn't do that, so I'm going to assume we have access to spotter plane to make the main battery grouping much higher. It also has access to Shimikaze's 20-kilometer hard-hitting torpedoes with 2 launchers of 4 torpedoes on each side. Relatively fast with a base top speed of 34 knots, and it also starts with 1 extra repair party charge. Going into the cons, fires burn for 60 seconds, similar to battleships and other supercruisers. Low HP pool compared to other supercruisers, though still larger than standard cruisers. does not have access to battleship survivability captain skills. I'm sure here we can just slot whatever we would like. Large exposed bow / stern sections that will frequently take full penetration damage. Sluggish turret traverse, large and vulnerable citadel, frequently takes citadels through its stern. And also very poor handling, further exacerbating her vulnerable citadel. Now, obviously, we need to take all of this with a grain of salt, and also know that what I've been reading is the stats and pros and cons for the PC version. We do not have 20-kilometer Shima torps, but essentially it's the torpedoes that do nearly 24,000 damage. At least we do have some look into the future legendary tier ships of World of Warships Legends after the daring, which was just added in this update. Hopefully at some point we do start getting a lot more legendaries and also more ways to earn them instead of just the 0 or 2 million global XP, perhaps adding some of them to the tech tree, who knows. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I'm going to let this game just finish off. If you enjoyed this early look at a future large cruiser in the Yoshino, do leave a like and subscribe for more, or leave a comment down below of other legendary ships you might want to see in the future, and or other ships you would like to see me play. But until next time, aloha.
Вражеский линкор уничтожен.
Наша команда получила преимущество. Наша команда близка к победе.
Пожарная тревога. Линкор противника уничтожен. Неполадки устранены.
5 минут до конца боя.